long night ahead. Yeah, right here over Elgin. And that's what's going to be lifting off to the northeast. That's a little area of low pressure right in here. You can see everything kind of spiraling around, and that's going to go right up I-44. All right, so let's talk about the wind in this again. What about down the line here? There's Val, and Val's making his way east, and a little area of spin here, southwest of Bray, right? Down just southwest of Highway 29, and another one down here. Okay, and then, okay, there's that one. Little kink. These are little tiny mesovortices right here. Not strong enough for a tornado warning, but we're watching these, right? These two little points sticking out at you look like horns, right? We don't like horns, not always. They look like that. And that's, again, almost moving due east. These are kind of moving east-northeast, okay? So we just need to watch these. And normally, when they produce a tornado, it's usually very brief and not very strong most of the time. But we all know that this year has been an anomaly so far. I mean, we've had some crazy things going on the last 10 days or so. And so we need to keep an eye on this. But rain now scooting back into all of Oklahoma City, right? There's just good old rains now beginning to slowly come into the West Metro, light showers here. But this ball of energy, again, coming up I-44. Coming up I-44, all right? So
I'm looking at power outages, about 1,000 customers across the state. 380 of those are in Caddo County, about 300 in Comanche, and about 210 in Tillman. So right there where everything's kind of already came through, where that line blew through.
Yeah.
Do have power outages.
Yeah.
And earlier we were getting winds, I mean, not measured, but winds radar estimated about 80 miles per hour. So
yeah,
it's come down some from what it was.
It has weakened a little bit. But still severe, still, again, winds over 70 down this line. And not everywhere. Not everybody has winds to 70, but there are pockets of, everybody gets 40 to 50, and then a few more places will see winds to 60, and then there'll be pockets of 70, 75 maybe. Okay, so Moore, Norman, Purcell, Pauls Valley, down to Sulphur. And the storms down here, I want to point out down into Murray County and Carter County. Not severe, but they are increasing. Down around Falls Creek and Sulphur, so our friends down there in Sulphur and Pauls Valley, down to Gene Autry and Ardmore, who've had a rough go of it here the last 4 or 5 days, right, since last weekend. And we all know what happened last Saturday.
And we know they've had so much rain, so much more rain last night. So any additional rain, that area is so saturated, flooding will become a concern as this is moving through tonight. Yeah, and this is, we haven't looked at rain totals, but this is a, solid 1 to 2 in here? Yeah, oh, there were pockets higher.
There were back west?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 12 hour here. I'll take it back to 6 hour, but.
Okay, yeah, still. Yeah, there's, what is that?
5 inches of Apache and Elgin. I mean, and that area can't hold that much more water. So.
No, and we had all that rain down here last night with all the tornadoes and all that going on. So, all right, 5 inches at Elgin. All right, a little bit of hail in that, but I mean, this is mainly a flooding threat, at least in some areas, and the wind. All right, so damaging winds, again, talking about moving up and down Highway 81. And you folks in Chickasha, you have light rain on you now. Jeremy's off to the northeast, the strongest wind. See this? This is a little couplet right in here.
Brandon's right in what we're showing as the strongest.
All right, let's go to Brandon here. Brandon, looks like, looking at radar data, you're right in the middle of some pretty gusty winds there. We're showing 60 to maybe close to 70, pretty close to you, if not on top of you. Right now, looking at radar, what do you have? What do you see?
Yeah, David, I would say that we're probably sustained between 40 and 45 with gusts of about 60. Haven't really seen anything probably in the last about 10 miles that is approaching 70 since we were back west of Rush Springs when we had that tree down. But our winds are now out of the, when I was saying when I first turned 81 that my winds were kind of out of the south-southwest, now our winds are the west-northwest. So I'm on the other side of this, wrapping area of circulation and wind, so to speak, this little wind bag that's moving east, northeast, kind of up 81 towards the Turnpike area. So we're just continuing through torrential rain and extremely gusty winds right now, and the lightning is pretty incredible as well. Back to you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's a lightning storm. We can turn some of that lightning on here and take a look at that. There's a ton of lightning out of this as it makes its way, again, pushing east, but at the same time, it's kind of pushing off to the northeast. All right, so let's go back to Lynx 1. And the rain, by the way, it's now ending in western Oklahoma. We have rain in Clinton, down to Carnegie, Lawton, some rain down here to Snyder to Frederick. This is all light to moderate rain. There is some wind back in here. There's also wind coming down I-40. So here in Oklahoma City, we could see winds 40 to 50 miles per hour just being on the north side of this whole complex. And we could see some gusts 50, maybe even 60.
We've had that, David, with the heat burst earlier. Was that in Cheyenne, Andrew?
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that was in Cheyenne.
Yeah. So heat burst happened about an hour and a half ago, I believe it was,
and
on the north end of this.
Yeah, what was the wind? What did we have in that in Cheyenne?
The wind gust was 60
Okay.
in Cheyenne.
Temperature rose.
Temperature rose just a couple degrees. It wasn't a huge one. It went from 67 to 69, so weak jump.
Yeah, and when you look on Mesonet, was there, how high did the temperature jump to? How many degrees?
Just 69.
Oh, okay. All right.
We just had a wind gust of 56 in Acme.
Okay.
So where kind of the bulk of the wind is with this complex.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to it here on Lynx 1, and we'll zoom on in here. We'll get back with the trackers here. So once again, severe storm now coming into. It's going to coming into Chickasha here shortly. It's already now moving into Ennenaw. It's going to Blanchard, going to Dibble. And this whole thing is going to, again, pinwheel, kind of pivot right up I-44 into Blanchard, into Norman, into Noble, and then the line farther south is still severe with damaging winds along the line. And once again, this is going to cross I-35 and now crossing east of Highway 81. You can see those little areas of little eddies in here. There's little mesovortices, little areas of little small mesocyclones that can sometimes ramp up just enough to give us some problems. There's one, there's one. That one's a little tighter.
It is. I'm going to switch radars here and kind of show you what it looks like.
Ooh.
Yeah, between Bray and Hope.
Still there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Not saying it's a tornado. It is a mesovortice. It's an area of spin. We're spinning, right? We're spinning right here. And notice where it is. Again, it's completely wrapped in rain. It's all wet. And it's not like you're not going to see a low or anything like that. Plus, it's dark out. But, I mean, it's right here. Val's just to the northwest of that. And again, that's going to be moving off to the east-northeast, it looks like. Aren't these kind of pinwheeling?
They are. So they were crashing east.
Yeah, forever.
And now they're making much more of a northerly shove. They're not advancing to the east very quickly at the moment.
No, they kind of slowed down. And that might really, obviously, bring on a real big-time flooding threat. Okay, let's go to Val. Val's in Rush Springs, going up and down 81. He's going to make his way up towards areas to the northeast, South Metro here, I guess. That's the way it's going right now. Val, strongest winds are just to your north and east. What do you think? What are your winds right there as you're now just on the north side of Rush Springs, headed up 81? Go ahead.
So we're getting pretty consistent winds between 40 and 50 miles an hour. We have not seen the 60 gusts like we did when we were back in Marlow. I mean, it was just cranking. There was small limbs and stuff coming off, but right now it's going to be sustained 40 to 50 miles an hour, and, man, just torrential rain. It's hard to drive sometime with the visibility. Also, just continuous lightning. But here's the thing. I'm starting to see a little bit of cloud structure north of me. It's just barely coming into view. We'll keep watching that. So we're going straight up north on 81. I'm going to ride this right up into the metro. Back to you.
All right. Nice job, Val. So Val's coming northeast, and we have Brandon just north of Val. And let's go back to Lynx 1 here. The wind... it's definitely come down, and we're talking about winds now 45 to nearly 60.
Yeah, you can see it just go from the blues, the bright blues, to losing almost all blue. When the blues, when you get 60 and above. Yep,
and you can see here's Ellick right here. You see how we had the blues back in here? That was, man, really good winds right here. A little bit of tree damage that Brandon was showing you. Now that's coming up to Highway 9 and coming into Ellick, and then points north and west. And a big surge of wind right here. Right here, that green, that's the wind pushing to the northeast. Okay, let's go to, is that in Lynx 2? You have the storm track?
Yes, 2.
Okay, Lynx 2, we've got the metro in this. Let's go back to Lynx 2. And again, Tuttle, Norman, downtown Oklahoma City, at least from downtown south, we're going to at least get some heavier rain. And the damaging winds, right now, again, 50 to maybe 60 at this point. So the winds have come down. But there's also another surge I'm seeing here, kind of an acceleration of the line farther south down Highway 81. So we have to watch that. And that's kind of advancing now more to the east. So everything kind of did an easterly movement, kind of a pulse to the northeast, and now we're back to an easterly movement, at least down south. But the north side of this is still kind of lunging up I-44. But here are your cities: Lindsay, 118, Hilton, 127, Blanchard at about 1:30 in the morning, Tiger Safari, 1:35, Norman at about 1:49 in the morning with winds, again, 50, 60 miles per hour. Pauls Valley at about 2 o'clock in the morning, Moore at about 2 o'clock, and Wynnewood, same, about 2 o'clock. And that's downtown Oklahoma City at about 2:10. So hail sizes, we've been looking at that. I think the last check, weren't they overall pretty small? I don't know, big
I
hail.
haven't seen anything close to quarters. I mean, it's been dime to nickel size hail, and I haven't seen many reports even of hail within it. But as far as just radar indicated, on the smaller side.
Yeah, for sure. You might get
nothing like last night.
No.
We had lots of baseball size hail and grapefruit size hail last night.
Yeah. Val said he's getting a little bit of hail right now.
Okay, great. What size?
Yeah.
Not great that he's getting it, but great that he's in it.
Clarify. Let's go back to Val and get an update from him. And Val, how big's your hail? What size do you have here? Again, just north of Rush Springs. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about the hail there, and we actually have just started seeing a little bit of hail, but it's real small, about, I'd say, a half inch at the most. And there's really not that much of it either. I mean, it's not like a constant heavy fall of hail. Just every now and then we'll hear a ping on the windshield, and the biggest is about a half inch, David.
Okay, all right, nice job. And Jeremy, go ahead and make sure that Jeremy's going east on 39, going east through Tabler and then over to Dibble. So he gets out ahead of this. Just make sure. And let's just keep doing that. Just make sure he knows to keep going east on 39. Okay, let's go back to Lynx 1. Thank you, Val. And this has come up a little bit now.
Yep.
So the winds have gone up, they've come down. This has come up, and they go back down. But right now, the blue in here, we're looking at 60. Yeah, 66.
Coming into Ellick.
Yeah.
And maybe down to Lindsay also.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty close to 60. Okay, so this is now coming into the South Metro. And we consider Chickasha, the Southwest Metro, really over. I mean, so many people commute. Our Oklahoma City metro area is one of the largest, metropolitan areas. It's all spread out. Lots of people, and it's really, really spread out.
And the warning, David, and this will wake people up if their phones have the alerts turned on, which hopefully they do. Severe thunderstorm warning out past Bridge Creek into kind of West Norman, Southwest Moore. So folks are waking up and tuning in, knowing we had the chance for severe weather.
Yeah,
we're on track
tonight.
Yeah,
and this is it. But if you're waking up with this, thank you. There are no tornado warnings in effect. We've had some areas of spin. We still have a couple. But right now, we're not like, oh boy, News 9, tornado warning. Nope. Right now, this is, at least for now, this has been a wind threat, very small hail threat, but a wind threat, and some localized flooding. And the ball of wind that we're talking about is right here now, coming through Grady County, coming through Ellick. It's going to head up towards Dibble, Norman, Noble, Purcell, Wayne. And there are stronger winds down here, but not that strong, down in the southern part of that line. It seems to be the strongest winds. Some wind in here, but that's even weakened.
Yeah, it's like Grady County is where it's at the moment.
Grady's kind of the bullseye on this wind. That blue, that light blue showing up, that's moving off to the northeast, that's your wind. And these are all severe. So, winds in here again. Over 50 and a couple of pockets of 60. You're at base? Okay.
Yep.
All right, so Val's right there. We have Jeremy to the north. Let's go to Jeremy Carter and get an update. Jeremy, this is just to your south, so the wind's going to be just to your south, not very far. Give us a wind update. Tell us, I know you're just on the northeast side of that. What's your wind right there? Go ahead.
It's not really too bad right here. It's just now starting to kind of pick up a little bit, maybe 20 max, some light rain. But we're just right on the edge of that wind, and it's moving to the north. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out east so I can get a good vantage of this storm and continue watching it, David. Back to you.
Jeremy, just keep going east. Go through, take 39 like you're doing. Go over to Dibble, and you'll get out ahead of it here. And let's sample some of this, see what we can get back into. So, nice job. Tom Pastrano, still just now east of Chickasha. Let's get an update from Tom. And Tom, go ahead. You're hot. We have your picture there. What do you think? What are your winds there? Not too strong. You're still just north of it looks like.
Yeah, so I'm just east of Chickasha right now, and I don't have any wind here. There is a tremendous amount of lightning. I did see a power flash associated with lightning, so there definitely could be some power outages. But yeah, it's a loud storm. Hard to believe anybody's asleep during this. It's striking and banging really loud. So we're here, and we're going to head towards Blanchard, and then eventually Norman as it makes its way towards the northeast. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Nice job. So that's what Tom is dealing with right now, and it's almost continuous lightning. So there's going to be a lot of people getting up, especially as it gets into the South Metro. But I know you're with us tonight, Bradley and Chickasha. You're up. You're thinking, hey, what's going on? It's been a weird week. Yeah, I get it. Nothing tornadic right now, okay? And right now there's nothing that we're like, oh boy, okay? It's a wind deal. Winds 40, 50, 60, maybe a 65 mile per hour gust, but there's nothing that's like, oh my, and everything moving off to the northeast. All right, back to Lynx 1, and this is now coming into the Southwest Metro. Here's Norman. This is Noble. Heavy rain back to Amber. And then once you get up here, this is all just light rain. Nothing severe for Binger or Hinton as far as the storm. Now, you might see winds up in here, 40 to 55 on the north side of this. And area of low pressure, we're getting some winds kind of coming down up here. And that'll give you some problems, winds 40 to 50, but nothing too out of control. But this whole ball of energy is really just lifting. And it's almost just trying to come right up into Blanchard.
Yeah, it's really making a surge to the north.
Yeah, it is right now.
In the last 30, 45 minutes, yeah, it's made that kind of turn and pivoting up to the north, definitely.
Yeah, that's in eastern Grady County here. So there's your wind right there, and it's making its way to the north. All right, we'll do another storm track.
It's ready on 2.
And Lynx 2, and we have Norman in that. So
yeah,
take a look at this on Lynx 2 control room. And we're looking at Norman at about 149, Pauls Valley, 2 o'clock in the morning, Moore, about 2 o'clock in the morning, Wynnewood, about 2 o'clock as well, because it's kind of a north-south line. It'll just keep making its way east. But once again, Southwest Metro, we're looking at Tuttle at about 138, Blanchard at about 1:30 in the morning, and downtown Oklahoma City still at about 2:10, and Tinker Air Force Base at about 2:10, 2:12. And that's going to be on the northern side of this ball. And sometimes this will start to weaken a little bit. It'll just kind of move more to the east-northeast. Other times it'll kind of pivot and kind of come in from the south. So it's trying to do that. But no tornado warnings in effect. Lots of rain, lots of lightning. The kids, no doubt about it, they are up and they're running down the hall as this comes on in. Crosses already 81, the main part is. And now coming into Cleveland, McLean County, Garvin County, down to Carter and Love County. So this is a whole, if you're waking up with this, you're thinking, oh my gosh, that looks kind of eerily similar to what we had last Saturday night, right? Storms developing, kind of moving in from the east, developing. It, not even close to Saturday night, and it's not going to be. It's not even close. Nothing like Saturday night, last Saturday night. So that's good. That's reassuring, right?
And just looking at the south end of this line that's headed towards I-35, where we know we had some of our more destructive tornadoes for sure, that portion of the line on Lynx 1 has really weakened. That was the strongest portion of the storm over the last couple of hours. It moved into southwest Oklahoma, and those velocities, those wind speeds have really decreased. So could still get some wind gusts out of them for sure as they head up towards Pauls Valley, Wynnewood, maybe as far as Sulphur, but right now, that's kind of really falling apart, David. If you take a look. We did just get an update on power outages, too. Stevens County, 2,700 customers now without power. So significant power outages there in Stevens County. Across the state, we're up to 4,600 customers without power. Okay.
That's enough. I mean, yeah, that's quite a few, and this is all right here. So, and what she was talking about, this southern part of the line, it's weakening down here. And this thing is, here's the deal. The atmosphere was pretty worked over from last night and this morning's storms, yesterday morning storms. And we had a lot of stable air in here. So this is trying to use up every bit of the instability that we have left. God, look at that lightning. I mean, that is, whose shot is that right there?
Which one? Are you pointing at the very bottom?
Yeah. Well, that's Brandon's.
Brandon, yep, Brandon.
God, that's almost, I mean, for a second there, that was just almost continuous. All right, so heavy thunderstorms to severe thunderstorms now coming through Chickasha, headed to the northeast. Severe now all the way down. The warnings extend from Norman down to Purcell, Pauls Valley. We're watching this minute by minute. It's why we're on, hour by hour. Nothing tornadic, right? We're watching for it. We have had little areas of spin. We've had these little mesovortices, small little mesocyclones, basically, and they've been spinning. We've had a couple of these that have tightened up, but so far we don't see anything. Look at that. Look at the motion of that. I mean, you can see that thing lifting right up, almost due north, and it's pretty cool to watch. And yeah, what do Vils look like? Does it look like it's coming down? Yeah,
that's the storm strength.
Okay, a little stronger there, and then that's weakened a little bit. But okay. And velocity data. Do we see any kinks?
I haven't seen anything circulating. It's just all been surging because kind of a wind from the southwest up to the northeast.
Yeah, and it's a big ball of green coming up towards the radar. It's a south wind for everybody over here, but what you got to watch right here is this.
Yeah, on the north end or
that's
south
right here.
end. Yep.
This green that's now coming into Winter Creek Country Club and just south of Dibble. So winds 55, 56. Not bad. I mean, not good, not great, but we can handle that versus what we had earlier. Had gusts over 80 and over 70 in southwest Oklahoma. Lots of heavy rain. Man, we are filling up the ponds down here between last night and the last couple of days. And so again, this is just going to kind of pinwheel. And does any of the model data have this thing tonight?
Yeah, it has it coming up and still coming up into Oklahoma City and kind of going up the Turner Turnpike even, but it's weak. It's marginally severe at best.
Okay.
On forecast model data.
Okay. We might have some flooding in the metro if it slows down or doesn't weaken and fall apart, but it looks like even reflectivity's kind of dropped off.
Yeah, the latest data for rainfall totals, the totals drop off significantly once it gets into Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Yeah, and more in Norman. Kind of the highest totals where it is right now.
Yeah, okay.
So if that happens, that'd be
yeah, we don't want any flooding. And you see a little comma head here. This kind of goes back up and kind of pinwheels. That's that area of low pressure. It's right back in here. Everything's kind of rotating around that. So if you're, like Lacey was saying, if your phone is going off, if you got the News 9 app, if you live down in Grady County or Cleveland or McLean County, it's going off. And it says you are under a severe thunderstorm warning or a severe storm is approaching you. Or lightning's been detected within 15 miles of your house. That's what's happening right here. And if you're waking up with us, good morning. Also, no tornadoes in this line. It is a damaging wind threat, winds 50 to 60, maybe a few gusts over 60. And right now, there's nothing that we're concerned about to get a tornado out of this. Now, an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, we had a few little areas that we were watching, but that's gone away for now. And the trend has been this has weakened a little bit. It has weakened. So Pauls Valley, severe storm to your west down to Elmore City. Sulphur's here. You're going to get rain in Sulphur tonight. You're going to get storms. You might have a little severe weather in Sulphur in the form of, it really looks like wind and hail right now. Or I keep saying hail. There is hail, but it's very small. This is a wind event. Heavy rain, lightning and thunder. And again, this is coming right into the Southwest Metro. So let's maybe start up here and take a look at what's going on in El Reno and then kind of just, make our way south. Just all light rain back up in here. Light rain, Piedmont, Richland. Yeah, just all light rain. But we're on the north side of this. But here's what's coming. Notice we go from the light green and yellows here down to the heavy rain in amber. Brandon's right here on the northeast side. And then down to the south from Blanchard, kind of pivoting and lifting to the north. That's that heavy rain. And
if you look at just the color, the reflectivity there, the intensities have come down as far as getting the purples and the dark pinks, on the returns.
Yeah.
So it's on a weakening trend currently.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. And he's talking about little pockets of purple. And that's going to be some of the hail in there. And even that's going away in the heavy rain. So it's not as intense as what it was. It's come down some. There's nothing now at all that's showing up to be an area of spin like we had earlier. And there, this green line right here. right there. That, man, just lunged. Going to Middleburg. Let's go back to Tom Pastrano. Tom is on the northwest side of that. Oh, look at Tom's shot. See where Tom is?
That's what it looks like. That's what you would expect.
Tom, that's you're right there, my friend. And radar says it's right over you. What are your winds right there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I am at the car wash right now. It is gusting over 50. Blinding rain. I can't see probably more than 20 feet ahead of me. It is really coming down. It's a south wind and no hail. It's just all wind right now. Back to you.
All right. Nice job. And again, this is down near, he's just southwest of Middleburg here. And he's southwest of Blanchard, 10 miles or so?
And David, I wanted to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
go ahead, Andrew.
He's pretty close to the strongest area of winds, and as that's been tracking through southwest of the metro near Rush Springs, Mesonet site, 69 miles per hour.
Okay.
The strongest winds missed Chickasha by a few miles. Chickasha's max wind gust today only 14 miles per hour. So, and I mean missed by a couple, 5 miles maybe.
Yeah.
So it shows the difference between being in the wind, not being in the wind. Of course, that wind is heading straight into Dibble now. So we'll see what some of the McLean County Mesonet sites record as that strongest area of wind ends up moving farther to the northeast.
Okay, Andrew, and let's go back to the 3 box and let's bring up Andrew's camera. Hey, Andrew, just real quick, what was the wind gust you said? Was that Rush Springs? What was the wind gust down there?
Rush Springs, 69 miles per hour.
Okay, all right.
And that was when we were looking at it earlier, and it was much stronger than it is now, but still a pretty big pocket of wind.
Okay, yeah, no, that will get your attention for sure. And that'll 2,500 in Stevens County? Power outages, so, okay. Thank you, Jed. That's a lot. I mean, it's quite a few down in Stevens County. So here's where Tom is, and Rush Springs Mezonet's down here, and we had a wind gust at, one more time, Andrew, what was the time on that? Just
let
in
me
like the last
see
10
the
minutes?
time. That was
20 minutes? Or was that more than that ago? I'm just curious.
It was right here about 1 a.m., so probably 30 minutes ago, I guess,
Okay.
Andrew,
Yeah.
right? That's when the strongest winds were over
Yeah,
Rush Springs.
right at 1 a.m.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
That explains it. But now, notice how we had the blues over Rush Springs, and that pivoted to the northeast, and now look what we're left with, though. So, okay, nice job, Andrew. Let's see what we do here. Now, we're going to bring this into, again, there's your arcing line of storms, and the wind in here. And, again, the fact that this is kind of lifting to the north, you're going to get that push of stronger winds.
Yeah, the lightning has come down significantly with
Yeah.
this portion of the storm as well.
Yep.
So you'd expect the winds to start to come down. So the lightning counter was up to about 61 strikes in 15 minutes, and now we're down to 40
Let me move
or
here.
so, 39. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it on mine.
Okay. I don't need to move for you.
You're fine
What else? You got it? Just making sure.
for now.
Okay. All right, let's go to Val. Val's back here, and he's back. He's on the eastern side of Chickasha. Val, your winds don't appear to be too strong right now in Chickasha. Your rain's kind of falling just normal.
Yeah, you're right, David. South of Chickasha, we really came out of the wind. And the wind direction was south, pretty much all the way from Rush Springs, up to Chickasha. But once we got to Chickasha, it really slacked off. And I think we just came out of the big winds right there. I think we came to basically the calm ahead, if you still want to call it that. But the rain let off also. But what we did notice is there was a little bit of street flooding going on in Chickasha. They got hit pretty good with the rain there. So now, as we head up the turnpike, headed to the northeast, the wind still is not crazy, but the rain is coming down heavy again here. So we're going to basically just take the pike right up to Oklahoma City. Back to you.
Yeah. Good advice, and great job there. Val had a big day, and along with all of our trackers today out on the Oklahoma-Texas border, and with some tornadoes out there today in Texas, just across the border, though. And this is all part of that. This is why they went out there. This is why they're still chasing the storms. And this is why they are bringing them east. All right, so no tornado warnings in effect. Let's go back to Lynx 1. Look at the rainfall totals here. And Lacey?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wow, over 5.2 now in Elgin. So.
It's interesting because all the storms back where the totals are, 2 inches or so along Highway 283, the storms were pushing to the east. And then you can tell when that calm ahead, that area of low pressure started to strengthen, that MCV started to form, and that's where it kind of set and actually spun for quite a while and dumped that 5 inches of rain south of Apache.
Yeah, we have some flooded roads down there right now. At least roads running up on, water up on the roads, ditches are full. And don't drive into water. You know how it goes. We don't want to do that. So water ahead of you, turn around, don't drown.
And Chickasha, as Val was mentioning, had some street flooding, so
Yeah.
1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain
Yeah,
fell
especially
there.
Just south. Get the turnpike, make a left. Go south by the car dealership there on the, kind of in the flats there on the south side of town. That area there floods all the time. Okay, so Falls Creek, Hennepin, back to Lindsay, strong, severe. Yeah, they're still severe. Hail sizes are nothing in here. Very small hail. It is lightning though. I mean, lots of lightning. There's tons of that. But even that's come down. And again, there's no crazy spin going on anywhere in this. And even the winds down here, gosh, 40, 50 maybe?
Yeah, below severe limits from everything I'm seeing.
Yeah. I don't see anything over 50 or 55 down here.
I mean, on the Mesonet still, some of the strongest winds are up along I-40 and further north, kind of on the northern edge of this. You were talking about that wake low forming and folks just continuously getting a lot of wind, 47-mile-an-hour gusts in Watonga and a 43 in the last 5 minutes in Putnam. So further to the north on this, just kind of zoom out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a severe storm.
No, Putnam's out here. I mean, we've got winds 40, 45. It's just on the backside. There's wind that's up top that's being brought down to the surface because of this area of low pressure, and we're getting winds away from the rain that are 40 to 50 miles per hour, and that's going to even spread into Oklahoma City. So it's going to be a windy couple of hours here coming our way, and again, this is the main wave here of strong to severe storms, and this is weakening. They continue to weaken, lifting north, pushing east. And you can look at the storm strength here. And they've never been on this chart today, really, in Oklahoma. We've all been watching them down here in this level, but there's just been a big wind bag. And even the cores are getting a little bit smaller. That's a good sign. So right now, the trend is it's weakening. Nothing tornadic. It's wind 40 to 50, some gusts up near 60. And it's now coming into Blanchard. Let's go back into maybe a little closer shot here. What do you think? See what's going on. There's Tom's in Blanchard. Tom still has some wind. He's on the teeth of this thing. Let's go back to Tom Pastrano. And Tom, you're still in the middle of it. Winds above you, give or take. What do you have, 40 to 50? What do you think?
40 to 50. They're not as strong as they were back there, but they're still blowing, and the rain's coming down. I'm coming into Blanchard. So, yeah, it's blowing. It's just under severe limits, though, right now. So, yeah, it's blowing sideways. And I did notice, back there I was in a little bit of a lull. So the rain intensity wasn't as strong. But Blanchard is definitely getting it right now. And the lightning has also come down just a little bit. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, lightning, and that's what Lacey was talking about. The wind is coming down. Lightning count is coming down. That is just a sign of a weakening storm system, all right? So nothing tornadic. There's nothing spinning now that we're worried about. We're watching it here mile by mile, minute by minute with you if you're up with us. And if you're waking up and you're thinking, what's going on? Am I worried? Or I'm worried. Do I need to be worried? No. Not right now, and everything, the trend is nothing even going towards a tornado. I mean, we are going the other way right now, so good news there. But heavy rain now coming into the South Metro. All right, let's go to Links 1, and this is going to be, here's Norman, Lloyd Noble Center, here's Goldsby, here's Noble, here's Moore. Light showers beginning to sprinkles and maybe a little drizzle developing across the city. Heavy rain running from Highway 9 back to Tuttle, and then over to just south of Minco here. And this ball is lifting north. So it's going to be a nice rain for the metro. We can bring this on in here. This will be good rain. And you can see that surge of green, that bright green, but notice how it just kind of fans out and it's becoming less bright. And right over Winter Creek Country Club, what are the winds? 23, 30, 40, 48.
Yeah, maybe some 50s in there.
Yeah, it's not severe. I mean, not with those wind speeds. Yeah, 16, 33. Yeah. So it's trying to collapse. It's trying to really come down. And then it becomes more of a gusty wind event, winds 40, 45, heavy rain, lightning and thunder, some very small hail, but this is now turning into just a heavy rain event, right? With lightning and thunder. Now, stronger storm down here at Hennepin. That's kind of training up to the north. Here's Falls Creek. Here's Sulphur. There is now light rain coming into Sulphur. And in Sulphur, you can hear the thunder and lightning going on. You can see the lightning off to your west, over near Falls Creek. But these are severe, but man, we're looking hard for any wind in here, and there's just not much wind. 40 to 50, the way it looks.
Yeah, we had areas where we had,
There's that one here.
Which were, yep, down near Wilson.
Yeah, Hilton and Wilson.
Yeah, a little bit stronger there.
And you're shooting through quite a bit. So it says 50.
Let me switch radars here.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll turn that off. Okay, let's see.
I don't see anything.
No couplets like what we were seeing or.
Nope. Nothing weird. Nothing
It's
crazy.
been several days since we can say we've had nothing weird.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time actually.
Yeah.
Just had a 43 in Ringling.
Okay. We can do that. 43.
Below severe limits, yeah.
43 right here in Ringling. So that's what we're going with now. 40 to 50. There might be a pocket of a quick ramp up of a gust to over 60, but right now these are becoming non-severe as this ball of energy is going to pinwheel and come right up I-44, almost due north. And I wonder how far it's going to be interesting to see how far it goes tonight.
It is, yeah.
I'm curious.
I mean, the whole thing is almost like a big area of circulation, you know?
Yeah.
Really broad.
Band here.
So we'll just see how.
See that band?
Yeah.
And then that and little area of low pressure is right here now southwest of Chickasha. You can see the spin, right? See this band coming in, this band is coming up and in.
Yeah, the latest data brings it basically up to Guthrie and then, goes parallel the Turner Turnpike from Guthrie. So
all this goes up through Edmond and all that?
Yeah, on the latest data, yep.
Okay, we're looking at latest high-res model data. I can't believe it finally figured it out.
Yeah, it's been wrong most of the day.
Yeah, we love model data, but we hate it too. I mean, it's what we live and die by, but man, sometimes it's right on and other times it is not. Let's go back to Brandon here. Now, he's just on the northern side. The wind's almost to him. It's right behind him. Brandon, the wind is right behind you, the stronger gust, but man, it's come way down. I know you're at Highway 9 and 62. The wind right behind you is like 40, it looks like. What do you think? What do you have right there?
Right now, we just got here. We just got off of the turnpike or the spur, Highway 9. Looking back towards Blanchard, just kind of waiting on to see what this thing's got left in it. Right now, our wind's actually fairly calm, probably 10, 15 miles an hour, and the rain has just started. To piggyback off of what Tom was saying earlier and what Lacey was saying about the lightning, when I was leaving Chickasha, it was almost a constant lightning show, just nonstop, cloud to ground and cloud to cloud. It blinded you almost. And since we've gotten all the way up here, it's taken us about 15, 20 minutes. The lightning has dwindled way down to where it's mostly cloud to cloud. Yes, we still have some strikes, but it's a far cry from what it was. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm pretty worn out, so I'm kind of glad. Back to you.
What? That's so unlike him. He's only been on the road for
5 days.
Yeah, he hasn't seen his family in like 5 days. So, yeah, all of our trackers, hats off to them. I mean, they have been traveling thousands of miles here the last
Val says he's got a
couple of days.
lowering.
Okay.
He's on a new area of weak circulation, David.
Okay, let's go back to Links 1 first. Let's take a look at it here, then we'll check in with Val. And I see what he's looking at. It's right back in here. Here's Tiger Safari. Here's Bridge Creek. Quite a bit of lightning, and there is a little bit right there. Went right over him pretty much. What's going on over here? Is this a little... No. Okay. All right, let's go to Val here. Val, what do you think? A little area of shear. It's there. It looks pretty weak, but it's there. It's something worth talking about. There it is. I saw it in your shot there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. What do you think looking at that? A little bit of a lowering, but nothing too crazy right now, it doesn't look like.
No, not too crazy. I mean, and it probably, if there is shear there, it's a little weak, kind of like you said. But it kind of surprised me that we saw this low. I mean, we kind of popped out of the rain, and there it was, right there in front of us. And this is looking northeast. We're on the turnpike, and that is looking straight northeast. And I mean, it's definitely a lowering right there, and it's hard to tell in the dark exactly what's going on with it, if there's any rotation or anything like that. But you know, also after dark, you look for power flashes. But, you know, we're going to watch this as it moves right up towards the metro. So we'll keep an eye on it. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Nice job. So little area of spin, but nothing crazy. But we have little areas we're kind of watching here, and Val's right there. Let's go back to Lynx 2. And Lacey has a storm track.
It's ready, yep.
And Davis at 115. He's back over here. Where's Tuttle? Tuttle, yeah.
I may have to take the sizes down.
Oh,
here.
No. I've already passed it, too. I think we're already past it. So,
okay. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's on
sorry,
top
my bad.
Tuttle.
Moore, 2 o'clock in the morning. Ardmore, 151. That's the line down here, kind of coming through the Ardmore area. Tinker Air Force Base, Midwest City, 2 o'clock. 214 to be exact, in downtown Midwest City, also for Oklahoma City. So that's this northern part of the arcing line. Coming to the northeast, we'll say Jones at about 230, and Shawnee at about 232, Medill at about 236, Meeker at 241. So this is going to scoot across the southwest metro, kind of in here, kind of really right where she has it, where the heaviest rain will be, and the gusty winds, and some small hail, very small hail. We don't see any damaging hail in here at all, which is good. And right now we see winds at about 40 to 50. So the winds are not crazy.
There's a new severe thunderstorm warning, so folks may be waking up in Union City, Mustang, Tuttle, Minco, and that's just for that northern edge where Val was, had that little lowering. There's definitely a pocket of stronger winds in there. I haven't seen winds to severe limits. They've been below that in that area.
Yeah.
But it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's a new severe thunderstorm warning in the metro, David.
Okay, so let's go back to Lynx 1, and that's on the north side of this. And we'll take a closer look on Lynx 1. So here's your storm track. But this is now coming into Tuttle. It's going to Mustang. It's going to Union City. And that's going to be for this right here. And this is going to be winds 40 to 50. There might be a gust in there close to 60 as it leaves northern Grady County, moves into southern Canadian County. And but folks, I mean, we're looking at live radar just like you are. And the winds here lifting to the north. You can see the green. That's the wind, 40 to 50. What do we have down here? A little higher return between Middleburg and... Yeah, what's that little bullseye right in there?
There you go.
Yeah, that's... I mean, we have that on a sunny day in May.
Yeah, we've had that multiple times tonight.
Yeah, 40, 45, I mean... Yeah, so not crazy by any means. I don't know. It's not really severe. It's marginally, we'll call it marginally severe.
And David, one of those...
go ahead, Andrew.
One of those stronger pockets of winds in McLean County just went through Washington and, of course, went right over the Washington Mesonet site. So we just got wind gust data from them, 39 miles per hour out of that. So radar, when that was passing through, was suggesting numbers closer to 49 or 50, but then down at the surface, 39 is what we were getting. So, we see some of these numbers higher up, and they're not quite reaching the ground in some cases.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, a little better as we get closer to the radar, but still, so, a couple of, it depends on how far it is from the radar is what we're talking about here. So that 39, so, okay, that won't do much, which is good. 39 mile per hour, no big deal in Oklahoma. Let's play golf, and that's good weather. All right, but now down to the south, this is a little bit stronger down here. This is south of Cole and Kreiner, Washington. That's what he was talking about, the Mesonet site. But this is still showing 50 to 60. And you're at a TLX,
That's base,
right? Yeah, it's base.
Yeah, SRV is a lot lower.
Yeah, a lot lower. Yeah, kind of buy that. At least a little more to that versus the base. And even the way the storm looks itself. See the holes? We're starting to punch holes in this. That's starting to weaken. Got another kind of a weakness down here. So we're getting little holes in the line, which means it's weakening. It's not a big solid ball of, dark reds and purples, and it's kind of fragmented, right, down the line. Down to Milo and Hennepin, heavy rain down here. Fox, Ardmore, man, Ardmore over to Hilton and Wilson. It's been a long 5 or 6 days for you folks. Lots of rain down here. Still raining in Sulphur. Heaviest rain now is west of Sulphur, but you have heavy rain coming in Sulphur. It's down over Dixon and Gene Autry, where we had the tornadoes last Saturday, and this will be lifting from the south to the north. It's going right up 177, so you're going to get rain in Sulphur. And then lots of heavy rain, again, down to Milo and Ardmore and Wilson. But no tornadoes down here tonight. If you're waking up with this down in southern Oklahoma, no tornadoes, right? We're just dealing with some wind, and winds 40 to 50 with some nickel and maybe some dime-size hail. I mean, nothing crazy at all.
Yeah, in the last 5 minutes, as far as winds go in south central Oklahoma, they've been to 28, 30, 35.
Yeah.
So very low end.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that warning was issued.
I think it was just when it pulsed up right there north of Val.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that quickly went away, though.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is quickly.
I look at the Vills again.
Yeah,
I'm guessing the storm strength is coming down as well. Yeah, we're losing lots of the greens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can see that north end kind of pulsed up and then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's going to rain. It's raining right now, but the rain's going to get heavier coming into Moore and Norman. But there's no tornado threat in this. There's nothing like that. This big glob of rain moving from the south to the north. This leading edge, we're going to have your wind for the first few minutes as this comes to your house, your home. It's going to be a south wind blowing to the north. If you're looking south, the wind will be coming at you. It's going to be a south wind blowing to the north at 40 miles per hour. There might be a gust to maybe 50, but certainly nothing out of control. I'm looking at our tracker shots here, and who's in it? Let's go ahead and zoom back in here. Let's just get a...
While you're doing that, we were talking about the power outages close to 3,000 there in Stevens County.
Okay,
just got a picture, Whitney Morris. I don't have it up to show you, but a fence blown down there, some tree limbs down.
Okay.
So we know we had severe winds on the southern end earlier when we were talking about that.
And what city was it?
Duncan.
Oh, in Duncan.
Yeah.
Okay, down Highway 81.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we've had wind damage. I mean, sure, we've had it. And southwest Oklahoma, earlier we had winds to 70 to 80.
Yeah.
And we're not even near that now. But again, coming into just south of Mustang, you folks in Mustang, the John Nichols Scout Ranch here, just south of Mustang there. You can see the winds in here, the green, that's the wind lifting to the north, and there is not much in there. Let's go back to Tom and bring Tom Pastrano in. He is now coming into the western sides of Norman. And Tom, what do you think? What's Norman getting right now? We're in Norman now. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm in Newcastle, and, I haven't seen anything even close to being severe since I was in south of Blanchard. Right now in Newcastle, I have about 20 to 30 miles per hour winds. It's really light. I did notice an uptick in the lightning to my north and northwest for about 5 minutes, but that's kind of gone away. So right now, it's just a lot of heavy rain and just some light wind here in Newcastle. Back to you.
All right, nice job. So Tom, again, in Newcastle right now, and he's sitting there on Highway 62. So winds, 40, nothing crazy. The rain is good. Man, this rain is good, right? And this is how you start out the wettest month of the year with rain. And we're getting a lot of it. This is going to come right into the airport and scoot right across the city. It has weakened some, and it's going to continue to weaken. And so severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Southwest Metro. Your phones are going off. If you have our News 9 app, you're like, uh-oh, hang on. Phones are going off. What are we doing? Hang on, what are we doing? Well, if you're waking up with this, no tornado warnings. This is going to be for a strong storm, marginally severe with winds 40 to 50. There might be a gust in here a little stronger. And see the green? That is a big blob of wind. Watch it lift here from the south to the north, and that's going to be winds 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour. But a far cry from what we had earlier.
David?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
If you want that fence that Lacey was talking about. I've got it up on links 4.
Okay, control room.
You can see
links
the fence
4.
and tree branch from the tree right behind.
Okay, well, lost a fence.
Add it to the damage from this week. It's been
I know,
awful.
right? Yeah. One
so
more
many
thing.
Folks. Yeah.
One more thing. So, yeah, I mean, we've had pockets, and we had, again, stronger winds in southwest Oklahoma. This is down in Duncan, down on Highway 81. So winds down there, 60, 65. And, yeah, taking down the fence, tree limb, broke off. Probably took the tree limb fell and probably took the fence down. At least certainly helped. Okay, Whitney Morris, thank you for the picture. We appreciate it from Duncan. Okay, back to Links 1.
And the power outages in Grady County gone up about 900 customers. So.
Okay, all right. Is it showing up on the map?
Yeah, I think Andrew has that too.
You have
He's been looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, power outage map is on links 4.
Okay, links 4. Take that control room. We'll see what the power outages look like here.
It's about 5,400 customers statewide without power.
Stevens County, obviously.
Yeah, and Grady County's not populated on there just yet, but
Okay, a little bit delayed, but.
Yep.
Caddo 400, and take these numbers, multiply them, give or take by about 3. So again, we've been a lot worse. We could be better, but Marlow, Duncan, the higher populated areas, you've got some power outages down there for sure. And the linemen will be out there. They'll get this all figured out.
That's what I
Okay.
was just thinking. The linemen have been very busy. You talk about our storm trackers and the weather team, and yeah, the linemen for sure.
Yeah, I mean, poor Southern Oklahoma. Weren't they? We talked about that last night, staying at Falls Creek, I guess.
Yeah.
So good for you. Good for them. Okay, let's go back to Links 1. And here we go. Ball of energy right across central Oklahoma. Kind of a spiraling band coming into it. Convective band coming into it from the south. Area of low pressure north of Chickasha. And this is a classic, what we call an MCV, mesoscale convective vortex, give or take. And pretty impressive. And this thing was really, really on fire earlier with all kinds of wind. But it's beginning to fill. It's beginning to weaken. But still some nice rains. Are you going back to earlier? Oh.
Yeah, I'm just going to lapse it there to show you.
Okay, yeah. And you can see the whole thing evolve. Man, down here we had winds 70 to 80, right? All through southwest Oklahoma. And then here's what we're left with. And it's slowly coming down. So good news. So if you're waking up with this, phone's going off, turning us on, what's going on, what's happening, here we are. A band of rain and some very small hail, gusty winds lifting from the south back to the north. And Brandon's right there. Let's go to Brandon Pennell and get an update from Brandon. And Brandon, what do you think? What are your winds there? We don't see much as far as any damaging winds at all. We don't see any of that right now coming into anywhere in the South Metro.
No, yeah, that's right. We were at 62 and Highway 9. Let that whole entire thing just come right over the top of us to see what it had. We probably sat there for, close to 10 minutes. I think probably the strongest wind gusts we had, and when I say gust, I mean we let it have all of it. Probably about 20 to 25. We're coming into the south side of Newcastle behind Tom right now, and the winds are basically calm, light rain, nothing like what it was earlier. And I wanted to mention something. I heard Lacey talking about all the rain in Elgin. When we came through Elgin earlier, every road on the main highway, I think it's 17, I believe, that goes east, there was curb deep at least, probably 4 to 5 to 6 inches deep all the way through town. So there was a significant amount of street flooding in Elgin, just to add to what she was saying earlier. Back to you.
Anyway, all right, nice job, Brandon. So Brandon, he's been all over the place today. He saw a couple of tornadoes today, way west, and then again, same complex, same storm systems, if you will, that have all kind of congealed into one system and making their way into the metro. All right, let's go to Jeremy Carter. He's down in Purcell. Now, he's farther south here, and let's bring his shot in. And Jeremy, down in Purcell, the storms are coming into you, but man, the winds have really dropped off. Good news for central and southern Oklahoma here for sure. Good news. 2 o'clock in the morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, David. So when we come across 39, it's kind of right there on the edge of that main wind coming through, and back about right south of Washington, we got into that 40 mile an hour, just kind of makes a mist out of the rain. Anyways, so at this point I went through Purcell, and there ain't hardly a leaf on a tree moving. This storm is really running out of steam here. I'm back to you, David.
All right, yeah, and we can confirm. We can see that. All right, back to Lynx 1, rain amounts, and another sign that it's weakening here. It's also moving. Rain amounts are much less. Now, we're going to add some more to this. It's not finished, but compared to what we had when it was peaking down here versus when it started to weaken, and rain amounts getting a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. But still some nice rains in here, don't get me wrong. Still, we'll take it. And but this whole thing is going to swing into the city. The warnings down south have all gone away now.
Yeah, Jeremy doesn't even have a leaf moving on a tree. There ain't no severe storm whenever
No.
the winds are calm.
Winds are calm, and even up north now, this thing is coming into the Southwest Metro. And this warning needs to be expired. It needs to go away. There's no severe winds in there at all. Let's go back to Tom. And again, heavy rain coming into the city. If your phones are going off, nothing tornadic, and there's nothing like that showing up. Earlier we had a couple areas of spin. Okay, we were watching it. It was turning, but not enough to give us a tornado warning out of that. We were watching it here mile by mile. But Tom, back at it here one more time. What do you think coming into the Southwest Metro? A little bit of wind, some gusty winds, heavy rain, thunder and lightning, but this thing is winding down and as it moves through Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's definitely winding down. There are some pretty close strikes of lightning here on the west side of Moore, but that's about it. It's heavy rain and the lightning, and that wind is pretty much non-existent from what I've seen from North Blanchard all the way up to 44 and now coming on 149 into Moore. So, yeah, I think it's really winding down. Just some nice rain. Back to you.
Yeah, and we'll take all that. We don't want any flooding, but we'll certainly take some nice rain. Tom, are you going down Southwest? What are you going down? What's your street right there?
Hi.
Say that again. What street are you on?
149.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking. It looked like I had visions of May 3rd of 1999 and May 20th of 2013. I was like, I know where he is. I didn't know exactly, but I knew okay. Where he is.
Completely different forecast for tonight versus those nights.
Yeah, this whole area, though, where he's driving is just, seriously, insane. Not tonight, though. Tonight is just rain, all right? So we're doing okay. All right, he's making his way into Moore from the west, and he's making his way off to the east. Okay, back to Lynx 1. Again, moderate to heavy rain coming into the Will Rogers area, South Oklahoma City. A little bit of lightning in here. Yeah, we're going to have lightning. We're going to have thunder, obviously, lifting from the south to the north. We're going to have some nice rain here in the city. It's going to rain pretty good. And we're looking at winds in here. Just kind of scanning for anything that pops out of anything weird. And I certainly don't see anything.
No, I don't either.
Okay, so once again, Moore. If you're just now waking up with this, you're thinking, oh gosh, what's going on? Nothing. As far as severe, we have winds 40, 30, small hail now coming into the Orr family farm up to Will Rogers. And from there, it's going to go right over downtown Oklahoma City. Lightning and Moore, right? And down through Norman. There might be some very small hail in the southwestern sides of Norman here, just west of I-35. Yeah, there it is. Some very small hail now, just west of the Norman Regional Healthplex. You might have a little hail pinging.
There's 8 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes, which is not a lot.
That's it in that?
Yeah, in that.
That box? Mm-hmm. Are you sure?
Yep, I think so. Move your head and I'll get a better look at it.
No, I don't want you to look at it.
I believe that's an 8.
All right. Okay. Yeah, golly, yeah. All right. So this, again, lifting from the south to the north. These are turning into now garden variety showers and storms, lifting from the south to the north. Pretty good rains. We're going to have some nice rain totals down I-35. This is kind of funneling to the north, and this is going to come right into the city. So we're going to see some nice rains in the metro. And I like how it's kind of expanding out here a little bit, kind of like flooding and fanning out. And that'll give everybody here in Oklahoma City a nice rain tonight. And then that'll just keep lifting north, and then eventually it'll kind of get a shove off to the east. That's what the data is doing with this tonight. So it just continues to gradually weaken as it again moves from the south to the north. So we're going to call it no more severe weather in Oklahoma City. That storm is no longer severe. It is weakening. Its winds are roughly 20 to 30, might have some gusts of 40. We have heavy rain now coming into the South Metro. We have lightning, we have thunder, and it's going to make its way to the north across the city. The lightning now, how many strikes? What are we up to now? What are we down to?
In that
box,
shot, 15. 9. Oh, 9.
9 and what's the time frame? Last
15,
half hour?
15.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
And the green on this map, going to the red, that's the wind that's coming from the south right into Oklahoma City. And again, our trackers are right there, looking right at it, and there is certainly no crazy wind. So if you're just now joining us, if you're getting up, you're hearing the thunder, you're seeing lightning flashes, you're thinking, oh no, they're on, they're not doing this again. We are not, but we are. And the winds in here are going to be 30 to 40 at most. Very small hail, little tiny hail cores in here. No big hail, no damaging hail, no damaging wind. Now raining heavily, fairly heavily, and more. It's going to come into the Southwest Metro, and this ball of rain is going to lift right across Oklahoma City. You can see it kind of lifting in here, and it'll make its way through the metro. So we're going to get a nice drink of water tonight, which is good. We need it, and we'll take that for sure. So that's what's happening with that. So, Lace, what do you think?
I mean, I'm very happy that we're on. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we have no tornado warnings and really no severe weather. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because we had so many days here in a row, the last 6 days, I've lost count, I think it's 6 or 7 days, of tornado warnings and tornado touchdowns and a lot of destruction, power outages, and we just don't have anything extreme happening right now, and that is such a welcome sight. The rain moving through in the flooded areas down in southern Oklahoma, I say flooded, they've had so much rain, over 8 inches, some areas 10 inches of rain over the last 5-6 days. So any additional water could lead to some flooding. That's really the biggest concern right now, is going to be some significant ponding to some low-end flooding in central and south central Oklahoma.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of that, especially, man, like you said, down south, they had so much rain. They really don't need any more. They could get a break, but...
Yeah, and it's moved over Norman. Norman just had a gust of 40 miles per hour, so...
All right, gust of 40. We do that, again, on any other day in the month of May or April or March, so... that is not severe. That will not bring down power or power lines or anything like that. So, all right, folks, we're going to keep tracking it. I think we're going to put this thing to bed. Jed Castles is here. If it gets weird or squirrely, Jed will just go ahead and get squirrely back. But this is moving up I-35. Moderate rain coming into Oklahoma City. Some very small hail, not severe, nothing tornadic. And again, we don't have any severe storms in Oklahoma City at all. All right, so... this is lifting to the north. Storm trackers are still out. We're going to keep an eye on it. And Lace, what do you think? You want to close this thing out for us?
Well, yeah, thank you for the honor.
Go ahead.
We're excited.
Go ahead.
Hopefully everybody has a great night. And again, everyone's still going to be here monitoring it for you. So stay with News 9 and we'll keep you advised.
This is the CBS Overnight News.
We turn now to the terrifying scene today at a middle school outside Madison, Wisconsin. A witness reporting the sound of gunshots as children ran for safety. An apparent school shooting threat now over. CBS's Charlie DeMar is there.
Panic at Mount Horeb Middle School.
Report the shots fired at the school.
Shortly after 11 a.m., school officials posting on social media an active shooter appeared on the school's campus. The county's emergency management saying the suspect had a rifle, but that suspect never made it into the building. The district later posting the alleged assailant had been, quote, neutralized. That post has since been deleted. The suspect has yet to be identified. No students or staffers were physically harmed. It was also frightening for parents left with little information and the entire campus on lockdown.
My biggest fear kind of felt like it was unfolding.
Kristen Malone waited frantically as law enforcement searched for possible additional suspects. Malone's 11-year-old daughter called her on the phone to tell her she loved her.
I was able to talk to my daughter just a couple minutes ago, but you still want to be able to touch them and hug them, and I know they're pretty scared. When my daughter first called me before they were even released from the school, and it was